We move on to superlatives, training camp / preseason edition. Chris, you have the honors.
Okay, I think I'm going to start out. I'm going to start out there. Love what I saw. Okay, with Jordan Love. I am. It was a good start for a guy who didn't get to play preseason football last year or dress at all. Like Jordan Love, here's the one thing I was worried about. That, one, he wouldn't know where to go with the ball. Two, that he wouldn't have control of the football in general. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. But the one thing you saw from Jordan Love is he didn't look like a deer in the headlights. And the other thing I saw is some throws and some potential in his arm and his throws to go, damn, that looked pretty good right here, like this post down the middle. I mean, come on. That's as good as it gets. Perfect spiral, great accuracy. The ball wasn't on the money perfect all the time, but he threw a lot of catchable balls, and that to me was what I worried about. I know other people who have evaluated and seen Love, even up in Green Bay, would the ball spray everywhere. So I love what I saw from that aspect. This is what he's got to get better at. His pocket presence, knowing when to step up or get out of harm's way to make a better throw or have a cleaner pocket, was not very good, and he has to improve on that. But I think overall Green Bay's got to be somewhat excited about what they saw from Love, and it's something they can build on in a positive direction.
And this is what they need to have happen if they are going to move on from Aaron Rodgers after the season. And in a weird sort of way, it's in Rodgers' interest for Jordan Love to develop to the point where the Packers can say, okay, fine, we'll trade you. Because, Chris, you and I both heard, the other side of the coin. Rodgers led to believe he was going to be traded until Matt LaFleur says to the front office, whoa,
we're not ready.
Jordan Love's not ready.
Right.
He's not ready.
Right.
You can't trade Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, that's the other aspect of this. And, yeah, I would think that's part of, the agreement Rodgers came to, even with, not playing in the preseason and things like that. Yeah, go ahead. Get the guy ready. He's probably going, man, come on, Jordan Love. Show some progress. Give them a little confidence so I can get the hell out of here when the year's over and all of that. I don't doubt that at all, and hopefully that I'm rooting for Jordan Love, not in the sense because I love Aaron Rodgers, but I am rooting for Jordan Love and just the fact that he's been put in the most tough situation I've ever seen a young rookie quarterback put in. I mean, it doesn't really get any tougher than this. I mean, it's up there with any situation I can ever think of, and I feel bad for him that way, and I want him to overcome it.
I remember we said this back in May. He's the only party in this awkward drama that played out May, June, and into late July who has no blame whatsoever. He didn't choose to go to Green Bay. He got drafted there, and he's stuck in the middle of this mess between the front office and Aaron Rodgers, and the coaching staff is caught in the middle. The fans are caught in the middle, but the one guy who had no say in being in this drama is Jordan Love. So I agree with you. I want to see him develop. And look, the front office. This is the core of the concern and the tension between Aaron Rodgers and Brian Gutekunst. The front office knows at a certain point you got to move on from the older players. Rodgers wants to keep his buddies around at the expense of developing the young players. That's where they got off kilter, and whether it was a communications thing or he feels like he's not being respected when he tries to articulate his voice, that's where this all started, and that's why they now need Jordan Love to step up so Aaron Rodgers can move on. Moving on to one thing I saw Thursday night, and it sometimes these moments happen so quickly you almost don't even realize they happened, but putting the chase in Chase is what I saw when Chase Young, I don't even want to say exploded.
It was a little bit.
I don't know what the word is for it.
He gripped and ripped that guy. Yeah.
PFT commenters suggested, and this is the best explanation I've seen for it, that he teleported through the left tackle en route to Cam Newton early in that Thursday night game. But it said to me, and here it is, 3rd and 8 play. Look, it's just... He's just on top of Newton. Newton doesn't even have a chance. And it's just a glimpse, I think, of what we're going to see all year long from Chase Young. And, oh, by the way, Montez Sweat's on the other side.
Right.
This Washington defense has the potential to be very, very special if Young stays healthy and keeps playing like he did in limited action on Thursday night.
No doubt. I mean, he's special. He pops just the way he looks, everything like that. And, you're right. Oh, geez, Montez Sweat's on the other side. Oh, geez, Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen are on the inside. two of the better defensive tackles in all of football. But, like, I'm with you, Mike. The Chase Young thing, I think what excites me there is because, like, you and I know, and, you know, anybody who watches football knows he's a freaky athlete. But what you saw there was the combination of freaky athlete, who now has another pass rush move in his repertoire and is getting a chance to learn and grow as a pass rusher. And if he puts that all together, I mean, watch out. I mean, he's special, and that D-line's special, and that was certainly a special move by him right there hitting Cam Newton.
And he explained that after the game on Thursday, the idea that he has spent time in the offseason learning different moves. Ron Rivera praised him. He's not just relying upon athletic ability. He's learning the nuances, the setup. You know, we've talked to great pass rushers over the years. There's a game within a game that goes on between them and the tackle, and they set the tackle up, and they make the tackle think they're going one way, they're going to do one move, and they do a different move, and it works. And I have a feeling that we're going to be talking a lot about Chase Young this year, and he's in the running in my mind. I know you're a big Myles Garrett guy. Chase Young's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year if he stays healthy all season long.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, though. I think your thought's right there all the way, because they are one of those teams that's like you feel like they're going to win a few games because of their defense. You know, they are the kind of front four that's going to make a few plays to put points on the board, whether they score themselves or set up the offense. And those are the kind of guys that can win defensive MVP. So I'm with you. That's a good one for sure. There's no doubt about it. You know, all right. I don't know where I want to go here. I kind of want to give. All right. I'm gonna go locked and loaded here, locked and loaded, just because of what I saw from Drew Lock against your Minnesota Vikings the other day. That crap show, what you guys called the preseason game up in Minnesota.
You mean against the third string defense?
I know.
That
yes,
performance?
I know. But either way, I mean, to me, what Drew Lock first off just looks better, looks in shape, but the way the ball flew off of his arm, off of his hand. And then when you talk about some of those receivers and people they have there, man, I just have a hard time unless Drew Lock screws this up thinking he won't be the starter in Denver, because he's the guy that can maximize all these guys they got that run 4-3 at wide receiver. And that was kind of cool to see the other day. It was cool to see him come out. We know he's put in the work in the offseason. Peyton Manning, all that. He's under the microscope. They brought Teddy Bridgewater. They're not totally sold on Drew Lock. He came out guns a-blazing against your Vikings. And I know it was, second and third stringers, but nonetheless, it looked like the real deal, and that's always a good sign and good start.
You know, one thing that I addressed recently, and I don't know if we did this last Wednesday when we did our hiatus edition, but I see Locke as having the higher ceiling and Teddy Bridgewater having the higher floor.
Right.
So you go with Locke. And you see what he can do. Can he stay healthy? Injuries have been an issue. Can he stay consistent and effective? If not, you have a guy who is kind of a safe, reasonable, I hate to say game manager, but that's what Teddy Bridgewater's always been, but he does it well. I mean, a quarterback does manage the game. Locke's more the gunslinger, so if it doesn't work with Locke, you have a fallback where you're not going to fall off all that much. And I think that probably is the way it plays out.
No, I would think so too. You're right. I mean, Teddy's safe. You know, yeah, he's like we've talked about a million times. He's not going to win games, but he's not going to lose games. And that's cool. That's cool. That's fine and dandy. There's no doubt. But you have to have a certain team and style of play and maybe even a certain division to play that style of football. And I'm just not sure the AFC West is that style of division. You know, I just don't look at it and go, you know, oh, yeah, Teddy driving them down to kick a field goal is going to beat Mahomes and Justin Herbert and company. No, it's not. It's going to have to be, I think, you know, lasers into the end zone to Cortland Sutton or KJ Hamler or Jerry Jeudy or something like that. And that's where Drew Lock, I think, can deliver. So we'll see. It's certainly going to be interesting because Denver, I think you and I both agree, are one of those teams that we would say watch out for. There's some potential there, you know, on their roster. It's just, can they get that quarterback situation figured out to where, you know, they can really be the team they want to be?
And, you know, you reminded me of a mindset that the Broncos developed post the emergence of Patrick Mahomes. It's not we're going to try to come up with a crippling defense that can beat Mahomes. It's we're going to fight fire with fire, and we're going to beef up our offense. Drew Lock is more conducive to that.
Right.
The way the Broncos have been built, You want Drew Lock to be the starter. You want Drew Lock to be the gunslinger. You want Drew Lock to be matching Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr. Otherwise, your quarterback situation is by far the worst in the division, and you've got no chance to turn around a franchise that has fallen off dramatically since winning Super Bowl 50. So I think it is Lock. And they've said there's no separation yet. I think this is all about testing Lock, pushing Lock.
Agreed.
Trying to get Lock to be the guy that they thought he was when they made him, I think, pick 42
somewhere in there,
in 2019.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. I think we're on the same page with that. Next one for me, where can I go here? We got a lot of different. All right. I want to mention this because this is the Captain Obvious Award that goes to the Seattle Seahawks. The trophy they get for, surprise, surprise, the holdout that they have fallen into with safety Jamal Adams.
Ooh.
Hey, and I have not liked at all the idea of giving up multiple first-round picks for a player who's in the window for a second contract and not getting him to agree to the second contract at the moment you give up the picks. Because if you don't do that, you give the guy even more leverage for the negotiations to come. So here we are, 3 weeks into camp, one preseason game in. Jamal Adams, like several other players throughout the league, holding in. They're there. They're not practicing. There's no end in sight. Well, the Seahawks, I'm told, have gotten exasperated with Jamal Adams. They think they've made him a more than fair offer. They think he should take it. And their mindset right now is there isn't going to be a long-term deal. We're going to go year to year. You're in your fifth-year option. We'll use the franchise tag next year. We'll use the franchise tag the year after. It's about $38 million in all that he'll make over 3 years. We'll just do it 1 year at a time. And the problem with that from the player's perspective is he's constantly carrying the risk of injury, the risk of his game completely falling apart.
Right.
All because he doesn't want to accept this long-term offer, and the Seahawks are beside themselves. Look, the Jets were beside themselves with Jamal Adams. He's a great player. He's the best safety in football, but you get to a point where you just can't reason with him.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks have gotten there, and they should have known they were going to get here when they did this deal last year without giving him a new contract.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation, and you're right. I mean, we all knew that Jamal Adams would be could be the type of guy that you could be in this situation with to a degree. There's no doubt. We've talked about it, but Seattle's got to do what they got to do here, and I don't know exactly what the offer is or what Jamal Adams is expecting or anything like that. But at some point, he's going to have to take into the reality of going, wait. I play a kamikaze style of football. I was hurt a little last year. I've been hurt here and there in other parts of the year. Do I really want to risk this? We've talked about his dad's career ending because of injury on the New York Giants team. At some point, that's where, again, I don't know. And I'm never going to get mad at a player for wanting money. Like you said, he's the best safety in football. But just from the outside looking in, it seems like he's trying to blow the safety market out of the water. At least that's the few things I've heard. And that's probably what's making Seattle feel uncomfortable. And I don't know where this goes, but it just doesn't seem like any middle ground's kind of in sight right now.
We talked about this last week as it relates to Lamar Jackson and my suggestion that the Ravens should make their last best offer, and it's on the table.
Yeah.
And it's on the table all year long. And if you want it, you can have it, with the only caveat being, if you get injured, obviously, the offer gets revisited. I think the Seahawks need to do the same thing with Jamal Adams. Here it is, $17.5 million a year, $38 to $40 million guaranteed at signing. Here it is. You can have it anytime you want it, but with the understanding you get injured, it's off the table because he's far more likely to have a close call than Lamar Jackson. And all it takes is one day, one impulse, one moment where he says, I want to be done with this. Give me the contract and let me sign it. That may be what the Seahawks do. Let the offer sit, and it's either you take it or $9.86 million this year, franchise tag next year, franchise tag the year after.
Yeah, no, I know that's risky. I can't imagine that he's going to like that or love that in any way, But yeah, I mean,
they think he'll still play. They think he'll be mad.
Right.
He'll be upset.
Right.
But he'll still show up and play.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just like, hey, the highest paid safety in football right now, Justin Simmons, right? 15.2 per year average salary, got 32 guaranteed at signing. I don't know. I mean, I don't. What is being asked for? That's where it's. I don't know what that answer is, but obviously it's significantly higher than that because I would think that Seattle would have no bones or any issue with him being the highest paid guy. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and they need him. That's the other thing too. It's a defense that's kind of trying to change their culture around and become a good defense once again, and kind of got that going a little bit at the end of last year. To not have him would be a huge blow for their scheme and their team and everything about it.
This is where the business gets in the way because the franchise tag isn't based on the 5 highest paid defensive players in football. It's based on your position. And safety is not one of the highest paid positions in football. So they can look at it and say $9.86 million, we can do that. Next year, about $13 million for the franchise tag. Hell, that's a bargain. 20% raise over that. $16 million in 2023. That's a bargain too. And we have the flexibility of walking away, letting him become a free agent if all of a sudden he suffers a serious injury and he's rehabbing and he's not the same guy because he does play with that aggressive style. So everything favors the Seahawks here, but still,
is he looking for Darius Leonard, picks? Kurt Warner? I mean, Fred Warner type money, Mike?
He wants 17. Well, I think he would take the $17.5 million if they restructure the guarantees in a way that ensures he's going to get more money. He wants more guaranteed. He wants it paid out faster. I think that's the key. How much of that full and complete risk are they going to take off of the plate of Jamal Adams? And it doesn't feel like they're all that far apart. So my position is, hey, Seahawks, you knew what you were getting yourselves into when you traded for the guy. Just do what you have to do to make him happy, because you knew, or you should have known, he's a guy that may not be all that easy to make happy.
Right.
So you better make him happy if you're going to give up all those draft picks to put him on your team. So we'll see if they can work that out. You got any other superlatives?
I had one more. If you want me to hit it, you got a time?
Let's do it. Do it.
I mean,
let's do it.
I want to be like, old man rookie award goes to Mac Jones. Like, I don't know, for a rookie, he just doesn't seem like a rookie. And again, out of all the first-round quarterbacks, maybe he was the least physically impressive, right? I mean, yeah, his athleticism, his arm doesn't pop like some of the other guys. But damn, like, playing the position does. I mean, every ball is just perfectly placed, on rhythm, on time, perfect read, those type of things. Had a beautiful go ball down the left sideline where the receiver just ran out of bounds. If he ran straight, he's going to catch a touchdown. I don't know what the guy was doing, but he made just some high-level throws where you just go, I mean, damn. I mean, here, in between the linebacker window, safety flying down, put perfect spot so the receiver can protect his body. Never is like overly aggressive here, just playing smart football. It was very Tom Brady in New England like. Oh, okay, coach, you want me to do this? All right, a little pressure? No problem. I'll throw it perfectly in the right spot on 3rd and 3. That to me was just really impressive for a young quarterback. Not that it's like wowing, but it's wowing in the sense that he does things that, 5-year veterans do already as a starting quarterback.
There was something in the way that he moved, the way that he made his reads, the way that he got rid of the football quickly, that spoke to a level of confidence that the typical rookie does not ooze. He oozed that sense of confidence. And, Chris, I don't know what they did in the equipment room in New England, but, one of the criticisms of Mac Jones is he doesn't look like a football player.
Right.
He's all lumpy in his uniform. He looks like Bobby Lane. Like, he doesn't look athletic. Like, he should be smoking a cigarette on the sideline. He doesn't look that way in his New England uniform. He looks like he belongs.
He does. He looks like he belongs. And again, I think a lot of those things we're talking about, the look and all those things, led to some of the negative talk about him in the draft process. That people were like, wait, this guy who looks like this, you're going to pick him over him? Yeah, okay. Sometimes you got to get over that. The results are what they are on the field. And again, I mean, it's an early start, but it looks like it's going right in the direction it was when he was in Alabama, which is he understands the offense. He has charisma and confidence and cockiness and a right way about him. And he knows where to go with the ball and take coaching and do all the quarterbacky things at such a high level. It makes up for maybe a little lack of talent that, some of the other guys might have over him.
We've got plenty of other good topics we can get to. We're running short of time, and we have shows all week now, so we can actually delve into some subjects later. But I do have to mention this because this is a guy whose name in the past, when uttered, would trigger a fine, but somebody typed in here Tim Tebow. So and look, I don't want to clown the guy any more than everyone else is for the block that he made as a tight end on Saturday night. But I saw somebody argue it was effective. He screened the guy away from the runner. Yeah. You don't have to blow the guy up.
No, you don't.
But I think what's more impressive than I think
it's the way it looked
wrestling,
too.
It looked like a pro wrestling move, but then he gets up and he puts his helmet in the teammate's stomach.
Exactly. So that's where it is. Yeah, right.
That was the thing that really took it next level. For the night, 16 snaps for Tebow, 1 target, no catches. There was a ball he would have had a chance to catch, but Tavon Austin snagged it as it was coming to Tebow. I felt bad for Tebow. And I think the key number, Chris, is this: 0 special teams plays for Tebow. They had 6 tight ends on Saturday night. Tebow is the only one who did not have at least 1 special teams play. That's not how you make the bottom of the roster, folks. You got to be a special teams contributor. The fact that the special teams coordinator did not use him does not bode well for his chance to make the team.
Agreed. I mean, I think the number of snaps, just my look, and again, not that I studied that game through and through, but, yeah, I would think that the way it looks right now, it doesn't look real positive for him to be on the team. But we'll see. Maybe he improves and does those type of things. But it's a big adjustment. Like we were always saying, I don't care if you were the SEC Player of the Year or the Heisman. It was that quarterback. Having the ball in your hand, running through a hole, and then hitting somebody is different than firing off the ball and going, wait, I have to block this 280-pound defensive end in front of me and knock him out of the way. It's a whole different skill set, frame of mind, type of athlete, everything. And that's where, it's a tough adjustment.
16-man practice squad is going to be used again this year. I still think he lands on that. Also, the COVID protocols allowing practice squad players to be called up to 90 minutes before kickoff to replace guys who may be positive. I think that's how we're going to see him this year. Practice squad, and maybe once or twice throughout the season, he'll sneak onto the game day lineup, make it onto the 48-man roster, get onto the field, and whether it's 85 or 15, I think we're going to see him at some point in the regular season. Let's take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.